Hey, how's it going? Today I'm here to pose a question. Does it make sense for Boruto to be stronger than both Limitless Code and Kawaki this early in Boruto 2 Blue Vortex? After analyzing different things throughout the series, I now know for sure it does make sense, and I'll go into more detail throughout the video and explain why that is the case. If you are an anime only watcher, there will be spoilers throughout the video, so you have been warned. With that being said, let's get started. Boruto and Momoshiki are one and the same, in the sense that they are both sharing a mind and have access to Boruto's body. Boruto is also 100% Otsutsuki at this point in the story, meaning he has access to all of Momoshiki's potential. Momoshiki is a character stronger than Kaguya and was able to hold his own against Prime Naruto and Sasuke until they solely relied on taijutsu to overwhelm him. One could argue that the strongest version of Momoshiki we ever saw was when he absorbed Kinshiki. Aside from the physical amplifications and access to chakra weapons, Momoshiki still primarily relied on his elemental Shinjutsu to engage his opponents. When he died, he lost all of the abilities of Kinshiki, and as we saw as an audience, we were presented once again with Momoshiki in his base form. So if the full power of Momoshiki was not enough to handle Naruto and Sasuke, how was Boruto able to compete with being stronger than Kaguya? Jougan and Ishiki did significantly better against Prime Naruto and Sasuke compared to Momoshiki respectively. Momoshiki arguably fought a weaker version of Naruto and Sasuke than Jougan did. Momoshiki fought a fatigued six-path Sage Mode Naruto and a version of Sasuke who used a lot of chakra to open a portal as well as contribute to the fight against Kinshiki. Jougan fought six-path Sage Mode Naruto at 100% power and a Sasuke with roughly 70% of his chakra supply. It wasn't even a contest. Ishiki simply had more raw power and devastating counters compared to Momoshiki. 100% of Ishiki's power is simply a greater amount compared to 100% of Momoshiki. Neither Kawaki, Code, or Jougan were able to access Ishiki's 100% potential. Jougan was able to become 100% Otsutsuki, however, he wasn't the perfect vessel. He could only really use Hikune Hikona and Daikoku Ten in a limited manner. Code is a failed vessel as well. He didn't receive any of Ishiki's abilities and his claw marks are derived from Shibai Otsutsuki's Shinjutsu. Kawaki is the perfect vessel for Ishiki. However, he only completed 80% of his karma development prior to Ishiki's death. The karma he reawakened was purely a weapon. You could argue that 80% of Ishiki's potential could rival 100% of Momoshiki's power, which is why Boruto Shiki and Karma version 2 Kawaki were so evenly matched when they fought in the anime. Boruto and Momoshiki also have different perspectives on power. The way of the Otsutsuki is to obtain power by consuming life. It's a quick, effective, and easy method for them. No real effort is required, especially if they are already strong. And because of this, Otsutsuki are very arrogant and get shocked when, Shinobi use basic ninjutsu against them. They are not creative, and they don't feel the need to train. Shinobi, while inherently weaker than Otsutsuki, work hard, train, and better themselves all the time. Both mindsets tie back into the original theme of Naruto, that hard work can rival or even surpass natural talent. Boruto with Momoshiki's power did something Momoshiki would have never done on his own, and that's train. Not only did Boruto train and access Momoshiki's true potential, but he also had the best teacher possible at that time, Sasuke Uchiha. A man skilled in most ninjutsu, contains powerful genjutsu and remarkable taijutsu traits despite only having one arm. Sasuke is a literal genius. Similar to what Jiraiya did to Naruto during their respective time skip, I'm sure Sasuke had Boruto perfect his already existing jutsu and his ninja tactics were advanced even further. Sasuke, without realizing it, created a tank in Boruto. He gave an Otsutsuki access to advanced shinobi tactics, truly putting Boruto in a league of his own. Otsutsuki have power while shinobi have talent and creativity. Combining both together creates a force greater than both separately. Boruto also has his own Otsutsuki potential separate from Momoshiki since he has access to the Jougan Eye, which is a dojutsu he awakened long before he ever received karma. He already knows about the Jougan's existence since Toneri told him about it in a dream, and he also witnessed it for himself by looking in a mirror and mistaking it for awakening the Byakugan. Which is why in the anime version of the story, that was one of the reasons Momoshiki chose Boruto as his vessel. Momoshiki has extensive knowledge on Shinjutsu and other Otsutsuki lore, and knows he hit the jackpot by securing a vessel that could one day even surpass himself. Since both characters share a mind, Boruto in theory should also know what the Jougan can do. There was also evidence in Two Blue Vortex that supports this case, since Boruto has extensive knowledge on the Ten Tails despite not knowing so before, and it's heavily implied that he used Momoshiki's ability to see in the future like he did in Chapter 75. I don't see why Boruto wouldn't try to access this eye, especially considering that he should know Momoshiki was able to activate the Byakugan despite Kawaki damaging Boruto's right eye. In the first scene of the series, Boruto is even shown accessing the Jougan right after activating his Karma Seal. Boruto shows no reaction or shock to being able to see out of that eye again. Boruto having the Jougan could also be a major indicator on why he got so strong this early in the story. If you see yourself as the best, you can never improve. In order to grow, you must always be willing to learn and try to be better than you were previously. Kawaki and Code both lack that mindset. Code is arrogant, believing he is stronger than Boruto because he has his limiters removed and an army of Ten-Tailed soldiers. From his perspective, there was no need to train. Kawaki solely relies on Ishiki's abilities and rejects the knowledge he could have obtained from the various shinobi he had access to throughout the village. We clearly see the consequences of these mindsets in Blue Vortex. Let's go over how Boruto handles the Ten-Tails compared to Kawaki. Kawaki immediately activates his Karma Seal to engage a Ten-Tailed soldier. Yes, you could argue that the soldier with the Rinnegan is stronger than the rest of the soldiers, but the fact that Kawaki couldn't think of anything else but to blast it away with his Karma Seal speaks volumes to his development. Boruto, on the other hand, doesn't even break a sweat against the multiple soldiers. He doesn't use his karma or even basic ninjutsu. He simply disposes of them with his swordsmanship. He understood at the end of part 1 his current power was not enough to prevent the problems around him, so in 3 years he reinvented himself. Ironically, the person with the literal Otsutsuki in his mind acts more human than the other 3 karma users. Even during the end of Two Blue Vortex Chapter 2, Boruto has shown that he has perfectly mastered Momoshiki's potential and combined it with his own skill as a shinobi. Boruto literally created his own Shinjutsu, the Rasengan Utsuhiko or Rasengan Vortex depending on the translation. We are truly going to see the difference between the ninjutsu and shinjutsu variants of this technique. Boruto is the strongest because he is the first shinobi in history to also be Otsutsuki and be willing to better himself.